Ideals like peace, freedom, and justice, they get packed up, but we can all go home. Well, I'm not going home. I'm gonna get on my boat, and I'm going upriver, and I'm going to kick that son of a bitch bison's ass so hard that the next bison wannabe is gonna feel it. Now, who wants to go home? And who wants to go with me?
Welcome to the Rated G for Gamers podcast, episode 332. Before we start the show, we want to thank all of our wonderful fans who have supported us. And if you want to show support for the Rated G network, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/Rated G for Gamers. You can also find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Rated G for Gamers. And finally, please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. We appreciate all the love. I'm your host, Dave Rotino, and this is my co-host, Dan, the podcaster formerly known as Classic Robinson.
What's going on, man?
I'm glad you asked, Dan. Now, I am not necessarily. I'm gonna get right into it, Dan, because I think this is actually kind of funny. I am not necessarily a Madden head, right? A Madden NFL football head.
I thought you like Madden. I thought you love. Well, we both love football. We're both Giants fans.
Oh yeah, no. Football's great, and I'll play Madden every now and again. My brother is a big Madden head.
I will never. I'm not a Madden fan because I hate playing football, the video game. I love watching football.
Sure,
and I
sure.
I can throw the football. But I'm terrible. I'm terrible at Madden. I'm terrible at any football game.
It's very complex. You know, back in the day, Nintendo only had 2 buttons. Super Nintendo had like 6, 8 buttons. Genesis had 3 buttons, right? You hit a button, pulls up the pass window. It's either A, B, or C, right? The guy's open, you pass it to him, and that's it. You run, hit the B button to spin. That's about all you could do, right? Now it's like you need a engineering degree just to set the damn plays up, right? You can kind of change formations on the fly, move guys around. You can call audibles. There's 29 different moves you can do on the field. It's bananas. So I get a little bit overwhelmed with it. But a friend of mine was talking about the new Madden 23 because he plays in a league with his friends and all that, and it's apparently trash. Yeah, it's apparently like
on a Dave scale. Whoa.
Oh yeah, it's trash on the Dave scale. Now, the problem with Madden is the only game in town, right? It's the only simulation sports football game out there because of the exclusivity agreement, right? Which I think is still ongoing, right? I think that's still.
It's still going, but I think 2K has the right to make like arcadey football game now, right? We talked about it like a year ago.
Sure, that'll give fans something else to play. But if you want a simulation experience, Madden is where it's at, and this is a problem because there's no competition. So the Madden devs, the EA devs, I know they work very hard and they're under tight deadlines. They gotta year after year put a new product out and pretend to the audience that it's a new game with new features when it's really just a roster update and maybe a new logo on the cover. Like, they don't necessarily do a lot in there.
Well, but how is it trash if it's just an iteration every year? Like, was it trash last year?
22 I think was okay. They don't have incidents, but there's FIFA 13. If you want to get a good laugh, look up GIFs of FIFA 13, because that was a trash year. Madden 23 is a trash year. Every now and again, they'll have a trash year, because they have to reconcile with the code base, and they have to update legacy code that's really old. I'm assuming that's a thing that happened here, right? So they could say, like, well, we built this when the Xbox One or the Series X came out, right? We had to redo some stuff. It was time for whatever reason. It was incompatible, or it was just really old, and they wanted to try some new stuff out. All right, we gotta redo it. They only have so much time, so they redo it. Maybe it's on a new engine. I don't think 23 is on a different engine, but I know like FIFA 17 used their new Frostbite engine, which I think is the same engine that Battlefield was built on, which was kind of interesting, but there's usually hiccups with that. New engine, you got to make sure everything's working properly. And, you know, you're changing like everything to work with this new game engine, so things can go wrong. And franchise mode is completely borked, right? People are playing, they're getting soft locked out of their franchise. They beat a season, they can't get into season 2. There's a lot of on-field issues, right? Players that should be catching balls aren't catching balls, right? Everything's just kind of like not quite right, and it's messing up people's games. It's messing up the online games. It's messing up your single-player experience. So it's like it's trashed here right now.
Listen, call me. You talk about not catching balls. Call me when the ball goes through the player.
Oh, that happened in FIFA 13, sure. That happened in FIFA 13.
Oh, really? Well, you kicked the ball to someone and it just went through them?
Yeah, people would like turn into like origami, and their legs would like float up into themselves, and yeah, it was all over the place. People would sink into the ground. Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible.
So I think, all right, so that's sort of a gamer grief right there, right? Like
it sure is.
We're gonna just start the show off with gamer griefs.
Let's do it.
I got a gamer grief too. So if you don't, if you're looking at the video version of this, I am holding up my physical copy of Psychonauts 2, which was our game of the year last year.
It looks beautiful. I love the foil cover, the gloss embossed or whatever it is.
Yeah, well, it had the it had the cardboard around it, just like Cyberpunk, right? And it had like the glossy cover.
Little slip cover, yeah.
Yeah. Now I think you can only buy this at Walmart. I think I could have sworn you can only buy this at Walmart. I got my copy in the other day, and it looked a little busted up on the sides, right? Like it looks like a copy that I would buy, used copy I would buy at GameStop.
Sure.
Now, I just mentioned Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk had the same cardboard cover.
Yep.
Okay, but it didn't have. I think it had plastic all around it. This didn't. This had stickers at the bottom and the top.
Yep.
And it's that really, really hard sticker that they use at GameStop when they send you buy a new game, but it's only the game that's on the shelf.
Yeah,
right?
They're like, no, you got to stop them before they do that. It's like, no, I'm not taking it back. Don't worry.
Well, this is cardboard, so when you take the sticker off, it messes up the cardboard.
Oh, yeah.
Messes up the cardboard.
Yeah.
I'm really angry at this.
Yep.
I'm really pissed at this.
Yeah.
Like, come on, Walmart or whoever. You could have. I blame Microsoft. All right, this is their game. I blame Microsoft.
That's a very
better job.
It's a very common. It's a very common packaging practice. I want to say it's due to the way I was going to say supply lines, but the machine,
like
whatever.
It's applied. Yeah, I understand the manufacturing line.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they're
the packaging line or whatever.
Right. They may not be equipped to do that necessarily, right? Because if it's just the plastic, like the plastic clamshell, it's a lot easier to do the wrap and spin it around and all that. The cardboard may kind of mix things up a little bit. It may make it a little bit thicker. Can't fit in the thing. I'm not defending what they're doing. I'm just trying to understand maybe why they do that.
Okay. Well, you know what? When The Last of Us Part 1 Special Edition was shipped and it was damaged, everyone blamed Sony, not the manufacturer. So here, I'm not blaming the manufacturer. I'm blaming Microsoft.
That's right.
I'm blaming Microsoft.
Put it on them. Because ultimately, they had to approve it. They said yes. Right? So,
all right. Dave, we have an awesome show this week. Coming up, we're going to talk about the Super Mario teaser trailer. All right. I don't know your thoughts. Keep that. I don't know what your thoughts are on it. We have not talked about it, which is unusual. We usually talk about things before we do the show.
I know.
Our reactions are going to be genuine. We don't know what the other person's thinking. And then we're going to talk about a new Need for Speed game was announced.
Nice.
So that's pretty cool. Before we get into any of that, let's begin the show with the Steam Deck. I know Dave wants me to buy the Steam Deck.
Yes.
Bad, because he wants me. That would be my foray into PC gaming, back into PC gaming. Because I was a PC gamer for like 2 years, late 80s, early 90s, Doom, Corridor 7 or 67. I was a big PC
Some may
guy.
say the golden age, right? Get all the LucasArts point-and-click adventures, the Sierra stuff. It's the birth of the first-person shooter genre, right? There was some good stuff on the PC back then. Lots of good RPGs.
So, the biggest reason why I didn't buy a Steam Deck was, I didn't want to wait 6 months for it to come.
That's fair.
You spend your $400, $500, $600 now, and 6 months later you finally get it. So I kind of want it now.
You mean just like when you pre-order a PlayStation 5 and you have to wait until it comes out? I don't understand.
But that's why I didn't pre-order a PlayStation 5.
You couldn't pre-order the PlayStation 5.
Yeah. Well, now we're at a point where I have no more excuses, because after 8 months of being out, 8 months after launch, there are no more reservations. You can just buy it and it ships within a week.
No, Dan still has reservations. He's just gonna sack it, spend that $400 on a copy of like Power Blade 2 for the NES. Why wouldn't I do that instead?
Why wouldn't I? It's so many different things I could do with my money that are better than buying a Steam Deck.
I'll tell you this: you can put just about any front end on there, any emulator. People have gotten like the good old games front end. That's where Cyberpunk lives, and all games that are DRM free are on there. I love GOG. Obviously, Steam is like baked in there, but you can get all the emulators on there. Our friend Joe has got the Dreamcast with all the hits: Crazy Taxi, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Soul Calibur. Like, it's great and it plays amazing. And you can play it right on the Steam Deck. He's got the dock hooked up to the TV with the big screen. It's beautiful.
Well, if you watch Metal Jesus Rocks on YouTube, he will say the biggest issue he has with the Steam Deck is one, checking to see if you can play the game, because he was on the flight and he couldn't play certain games.
Yeah.
Even though they were on the system, right?
Yeah.
Already. And then two, the battery life. Battery life isn't it's better than the Switch, but it's not great. Still not great.
Well, I mean, you have 4 Switches, so I don't think that stopped you from buying a console with bad battery life. So
I think I got 5 to be honest.
Yeah, see, so there you go. You got to get one, man. You got to get one.
Well,
it's great.
Well, I'm not saying it's the reason why I'm not buying it. I'm just saying those. You tell me how great the Steam Deck is, but there are some cons.
Oh so. Yeah, no, there's always cons for sure. Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see how the bonus is this year. All right. We'll see how the Christmas bonus is this year. Maybe I'll pick it up.
All right.
All right. I will say this. I don't know if you did this. You should do this. PlayStation Stars. We talked about it last week. It officially is out in North America, right? Or at least in the US. I don't know if it's available in Canada. That is PlayStation's new reward program. It is free. You don't need a paid subscription to sign up. I mean, you can sign up, even if you just sign up for a free the Sony account. You don't have to have a paid subscription. Sure. But if you do have a paid subscription, like I'm a premium member. I do get some added benefits. But to sign up, you definitely need to download the PlayStation app on your phone or on I know.
Why?
You need to download the app because it's more of an app thing than a thing that's in the game, in the system. So I know.
Why?
I know.
Yeah, that.
I know it's a little weird. But you need to download the PlayStation app.
Okay, fine. That hasn't stopped me before, so.
I know. You get like digital collectibles, trophies you can store in your digital trophy case, and you can take a look at it on the app. Or you get points, which you can use for more collectibles and games on the PlayStation Store. So, and they're different levels. I mean, as soon as you sign up, you're up to level 1, right? I'm automatically level 1.
Hey, there you go.
You get to level 2 if you buy a game on a PlayStation Store and you unlock a couple of trophies, and buy another game on the PlayStation Store, you're level 3, and so on, right? No NFTs as of right now. No NFTs, which is like a hot topic right now. As soon as you say NFTs, everybody hates it.
Oh yeah. People have gone back. I think Ubisoft famously has gone back on NFTs, and look. I'm not saying NFTs are like done. but they're kind of like the plague right now, right? Nobody necessarily wants them. The value isn't that great. There's a lot of pump and dump scams with them. A lot of people are left holding the bag. A lot of people have had their NFTs stolen, right? Famously, Seth Green had his Bored Ape stolen, and he had to pay a ton of money to get it back. So, not the greatest thing to jump into right now.
What the hell is NFT anyway? I'll be honest. I don't know much about it. What is an NFT?
Well, okay, I'll try and give you the 30-second explanation. It stands for non-fungible token, which it means it's non-reproducible, which means that every NFT is unique. And by that I mean it's basically just like a hash or a code or whatever, like a string that like says, okay, this is your thing. And if you want to be real reductive about it, all it is, it's hitting an endpoint which says, here's some values, right? The name is this, the color is this, the eyeglass thing is this, the accessory is this, and it'll put together a thing, right? So it'll be like a piece of art or whatever it is, right? It pulls up this particular piece of art, which could be a JPEG.
Digital art.
Yeah, it's like, think of it like you got a piece of art signed, right? So you get a poster of Super Mario Brothers, the movie from 1993, and Shigeru Miyamoto signs it. That's unique, right? These are unique versions of it, so it can always be traced back to this unique thing. And usually what they'll do to get value out of it is to say this is like one of one or one of two, or they'll be like minted in a way that you've got like the first one. And then that kind of becomes valuable and whatnot, right? In this kind of digital way. Like, people meme on it because they're like, oh, it's just like a JPEG or whatever. And I'm like, well, yeah, it is, but it's a JPEG in the same way that, like, a physical piece of art was on a computer, somebody printed it out, and then somebody, like, scribbled on it, right? It's just a digital version of that, I think, is kind of a way to describe it. The thing that, like, gets people's craw is that there's a lot of scams out there, right? Because it's like, it's a form of crypto in a way, right? But it's like an art extension of that, I guess, in a way, if I'm explaining it properly. But people kind of meme on it because everybody gets their stuff stolen because there's all these crypto bros that are like, yeah, NFTs are the way of the future. And people will put these like Bored Ape or whatever else or this and that. They'll make all these campaigns for these things, and it'll be a cash grab, and then they'll just like go away, and then your thing is gone and you don't have it anymore. And it's like, whatever, because it has to exist somewhere. The code has to be somewhere. So I don't know. I'm getting in the weeds on it, but whatever. Yeah. Let's just say people aren't crazy about NFTs right now. So
I know.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? Guess what? There are no NFTs as of yet.
All right.
With Sony PlayStation Stars rewards.
All right. I'm back in.
And you can exchange points for a handful of games via the PlayStation app, and you can redeem points for PlayStation Store funds. So it works kind of like, if you have 1,250 points, that's like $5, or 5,000 points, that's like $20. You cannot trade or transfer points to another account. So your points or your points, and that's it.
Sure.
So
question.
Go ahead.
How many points do you get for like buying a game or doing one of the, what do they call them, challenges or whatever
campaigns.
it is? Sure. What do you get? What do you get for a typical campaign? What do you get for a typical game buy? Do you know?
I don't know. I haven't done it yet. I know I'm just level 1 because I signed up.
Okay. Because I'm actually curious how long it would take you to get to $12.50 to get that $5, right? Because I know with like Microsoft's version, they have points, and it's included in Windows too. You can just go to the Windows Start menu, and there's like daily challenges or whatever, and you just like, you go to Bing and you do searches or whatever, but you get like 10, 20 points, maybe 30 points a day or whatever it is, but you need like 10,000 points to get like a $5 gift card. So it's going to take you forever to get there, if you just do like the free challenges or whatever it is. So
yeah, I don't know yet.
Okay.
I don't know, but I'm gonna start. I'm gonna try it out. I have the app on my iPad, and again, it's just doing things like you play a game in October, right? Or you play a game this month, or in a month. You get you get the move. You get some points, and you get to move up. So it's just being active.
Sure.
on the platform, and then I'm sure if if you beat a game or something like that, you'll get points. I hope that's how it works. So I'm gonna play with it a little bit, and then I'll talk about it on the show.
Okay.
So, Dave, as we always try to start the show but epically fail, what have you been playing?
Oh, I've been playing the funnest game of all. I've been playing
Super Mario World for SNES.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. No, I've been playing the Upgrade My Network game, upgrading my home network. I famously, well, I don't actually know if I ever talked about it on the show, so maybe not famously, but when I ended up moving into my new place, basically the way that I set my place up in the living room is the TV. So there's a giant IKEA wall storage shelf thing, all these like big boxes, right? It's essentially like the thing behind me, but I think it's a little bit thicker and it's a hell of a lot bigger and it's built into the wall. And when I was looking to buy this place, the former owners are like, "Oh, we can take that out if you want." I'm like, no. I was just thinking about all the games and game consoles and all the cool shit I could put on there. I was like, you're gonna like leave that here? I'm like, hell yeah, I'll take it. So that wall was basically like taken. That was taken up. So I put my TV and everything else on the opposite wall because it was a big blank wall. Put all that stuff there. The issue is that the network connection that's coming out of the wall is over where the wall storage unit is.
Yeah, I remember because you have your you have your router over there.
I do, exactly. So the router comes out there, that kind of terminates, and I have all my smart devices, the Alexa and the Hue Hub and whatever else. Got my little Home Assistant Raspberry Pi thing over there. And, so I didn't really want to run a ton of cables over to the other side and hardwire it, even though that's the better way to do it. Finally did it. I did it. So I made my own cables. I ran them across, so now it's hardwired network to an 8-port switch, and I'm in the process of hooking up the Xbox, my receiver, the Switch, and all that. So blazing fast, can be blazing fast hip hop and R&B, Dan. I was playing it before the show. Played a round of Halo Infinite real quick. I lost, but there was no delay. It was very quick.
Dave, you got to get good. You got to get good.
I know. Well, I'll get back to it after this episode. I'll play a couple more matches. I got to get back into it. It was a little too early. I didn't have my cup of coffee yet. Right. But on the actual game side, I got back into Returnal, and then I realized why I stopped, because my PS5 controller has stick drift on the right-hand side.
Oh, you only have one? You don't have two?
I do not have two, because they're like $70. They're expensive.
Come on. I got like 5 of them. If you'd have said something, you could have came over and borrow one.
Well, yeah, but it may get all gummed up. I don't know what happened to it. But the Xbox controller too.
You gotta stop eating those Cheetos when you're playing games.
No. I make it a rule. I definitely don't do that. I wash my hands before I'm done it. Before I pick the controller up again. Right? You can eat around it, but you can't eat while playing it. I used to do that back in the day.
It's like he's transporting the Picasso, right? The Mona Lisa. He needs to wash his hands and have gloves on.
Exactly. You gotta get the rubber surgical gloves on, right? Handle it with care.
Yeah.
You gotta put it back in the case with the little lid on it. Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Exactly. All right. So how about you? What have you been playing?
Well, one, I have no stick drift in my PS5 controller.
Lucky you.
Lucky you. The only stick drift I've ever had was, and I still have, is on my Wii U Pro controller.
Oh shoot!
Stick drift. That's the only stick drift I have on any of my controllers.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been playing a little bit of Spartan Total Warrior on the GameCube.
Wow, that's a throwback.
Yeah. I got a hot take for you right now. I got a hot take. Right? I don't think I've ever said. Right. I am not a fan of the GameCube controller.
Oh. I don't think that's a hot take at all.
I'm not a fan of the GameCube controller.
That take is rated, Dan. That take is rated.
It's so foreign to me. It's so foreign.
It's not great. It's like, so they saw the N64 and they say, YOLO, we're going to do our own thing. And they did. They really brought the analog stick to the forefront. And then they're like, we should be more like the PlayStation controller. So they made this like halfway point. Just no, they didn't quite take it all the way, right?
It's not great. It's not great. Okay, I'm glad that we have a standard right now. With all the
yeah. They've worked it out.
I think a lot of games that are multi-platform that I have for the GameCube, I may have to buy them for either the Xbox or the PS2 because I just don't know if I want to play it with that controller.
No, it's got a terrible C-stick. It's got like that weird triggers they're like ski slopes.
And then you want to talk about I don't have stick drift on any of my controllers, but I got sticky drift. I got sticky controllers or my GameCube controllers. The gamepad is sticky where it's and I got to keep pushing it up and up. Oh, it's terrible. All right. I forgot I had the Wavebird, so I had to get batteries, and I didn't know where the sensor was because I didn't have the sensor with the controllers because I have all my controllers in one area. So I had to find the sensor. I found the sensor. It works. I like the Wavebird, but I've been using that. So also I've been playing Jak and Daxter just on the PS5. I have it downloaded, right? Because I have the premium edition. So I've just been playing that.
Nice.
So nothing too crazy. I've been playing a lot of the game that we're gonna play for Saturday Morning Retro this month.
Same.
So
we gotta save that for the episode though. Don't want to put the cat out of the bag just yet.
No, yeah, but I can tell you a game I won't be going back to, and that's Returnal. So you can keep playing that. I'm not doing that.
Did you even go to it? I don't even. Did you pick it up? I don't even think you picked it up.
Play it. Yeah, I lost like 20 times, and then I gave up. And then
that's the whole point of the game. You keep going, and you get more and more stuff, and you get better at it. You learn the patterns.
Co-op now, right? We could
do co-op. Yeah, totally. Once I get my controller fixed, we should do co-op.
That'd be the only way I'll play it.
All right.
So, all right. Why don't we take a break? When we come back, we're getting to the top gaming news of last week. And we're back. All right, Dave, let's get into the top gaming news of last week. And we have to start with Super Mario Brothers, the movie. We got the teaser trailer. It wasn't really a trailer. It was a teaser. It was the longest teaser trailer I've ever seen because we're mostly teasing Mario, but setting sort of like the stage for the the world right? In the movie. Now, I honestly have no idea what you think about the movie, about the trailer.
No, I got thoughts
because we haven't talked about it. But I kind of thought the trailer itself was awesome because we got flying Bowser's castle, right? Like that was all like that's awesome. And then you got to remember this is a movie for kids. Isn't that like an adult rated? This is not like the actual live action Mario Brothers movie.
No, which was very dark, right?
Which is very dark
and just all over the place for sure.
This was a little bit light. This was a little bit lighthearted because Bowser comes out. He's big and menacing, and the Koopa Troopers are like standing at attention like soldiers. Yeah. And then I loved it with the penguins. I don't remember the penguins being in the Mario world. I mean, maybe you correct me.
There are penguins. I think in like New Super Mario Brothers, they got introduced in like the ice world and all that. So they're they've kind of been around. It was interesting that Bowser was going after them specifically, but I think maybe that was just kind of setting up like him being evil and all that. And it's like,
it's him being evil and him taking over, like planets and worlds and stuff, right? And them, I love it how they're throwing the snowballs, and you'd think, this may be like a big fight in the snowballs. And he just like blows their castle, blows their castle. Like away with a big fireball.
Yeah, it's very cute. I
like the humor. You see the humor in it.
It's like that's only the beginning of our power or whatever it is. It is just like
And then you see Mario, right? Butt cheeks and all, because I think that butt cheek gate, as I call
lack of butt cheeks. I think is what you mean to say. It doesn't have an ass. Mario is a tiny little rotund plumber. He needs to have an ass.
So we see.
I was a little upset
Yeah,
about that.
okay. Well, I'm not. Never looked at his butt before, but I mean, his
Well,
overalls.
it's like, what if he had blonde hair, right? You'd go, that's not Mario, right? I know it's a nitpicking thing, but you
It
want
is
the
very much
character
so. Very much
to
so.
look like the other iterations of him.
Listen, if they want to put Jordans on Mario, I wouldn't care, right? I mean, instead of
Product
having the brown
placement?
boots, I'm okay. I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
He needs
with
to
that.
jump higher. Maybe that'll be a power up in the other movie.
Well, they could do a crossover, Mario Air Jordans.
Mm. There you go.
So Mario is in the Mushroom Kingdom with mushrooms. He almost touches the mushroom, and then we see Toad. All right, and I think I gotta watch it again. I think Toad says, "Mario, don't touch that," right? Or I think he called him by name. And then
He may
Mario,
have, yeah.
And Mario, he speaks, and we hear Chris Pratt as Mario, and then we sort of, I mean, that's it. I mean, there was a little montage where Luigi's in there, right? It looks like Luigi's in a mansion, if I'm not mistaken. I gotta take another look at that. I gotta do like a rewind.
Oh, maybe.
It looked like he was like in a mansion, the little Luigi's mansion, maybe theme going on here. I mean, I can imagine. I mean, this movie is going to be an hour and a half to maybe 2 hours. So
Yeah. Well,
if have a lot of callbacks to a lot of the video games.
If I remember correctly, Donkey Kong is making an appearance somehow, some way.
Donkey Kong is going to be in here as
Right,
well.
so they have to tie that in somehow, right? He's the original villain of Mario, right? Back when he was saving Pauline in the skyscraper.
So let's the elephant in the room. Let's just jump in it, or the donkey on the shoulders. Right. Let's just jump in it. What do you think about Chris Pratt's? From what you heard, what do you think about him as Mario?
I mean, people have opinions on it and whatnot, but I'll be honest with you. I love Charles Martinet. I'll say that. He's the GOAT. But
I do too.
I don't think I'd be able to handle a whole entire movie of him in that hyper, let's go kind of voice. I don't think I could do it. It would be a little bit grating. I'm sorry. And I think there's a number of reasons, but I think one of the reasons why Mario doesn't talk that much is that, I mean, they want a silent protagonist, kind of. That just kind of says some quips, but it'd be a lot, right? It's like you want a slice of cheesecake, but you don't want the whole cheesecake because it's too much. So I think the more kind of grounded Mario voice that Chris Pratt is bringing to it, which still kind of has... It has notes of Martinet in it, so I'm like, okay, like he's obviously worked on this.
Accent. It's a slight accent.
Yeah. So I ain't mad at it, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
I ain't mad at it. Now, do you share my opinions or?
Oh, I have no issue with it.
Okay.
I will say this though. I will say this. I wouldn't have been mad if they got somebody with like an actual Italian Brooklyn accent, right? Because I mean he's he's from New York, in Brooklyn, New York, and he got swept up, in a drain and got into the Mushroom Kingdom.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, which I'm sure is probably not where they're going with this. I don't know if they're gonna have him in New York City, in Brooklyn, and get swept up in. I don't know if they're going to change that backstory.
That'd be interesting because maybe that's how you get Donkey Kong involved, right? He's terrorizing the city, right? Yeah. And that's where he comes from, but yeah.
So but I'd have no issue with Chris Pratt with the voice, but I'm not going to lie. I think Jack Black, Bowser's, is on point. I think it's awesome.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that was a great choice. Great choice. I love him as Bowser. And I honestly, again, this is a teaser trailer, so we don't have, the big picture of what's going to happen.
Right.
In the movie, we got to wait for the official trailer to come out.
Well, it's going to be about a year before the movie comes out, so we got time. We'll probably
the movie's coming out. No, the movie's coming out next year. So
yeah.
We'll probably get it early next year.
Right, but it's not coming out till like this time next year, most likely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a fall release.
I think Bowser's going to steal the show. I know this is a Mario movie, and I think Bowser stole the show. So
I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
I'm excited. I thought this was awesome. I mean, they need to redeem themselves after, that 1993 film, which was terrible. Which I'm surprised you still haven't seen.
Still haven't seen it.
Crazy.
I mean, I know I've watched all the behind the scenes. I've seen clips, so I know what it's about. I just haven't seen it from start to finish. Nope. And I've seen a lot of bad video game movies. i.e. all of them, just about, with the exception of Mario Brothers. And there's no reason why. I just haven't, you know.
So, I think the big question is, will there be a Mario game released next year to coincide with the movie?
Nope, not at all.
I'm not saying there'll be a movie. No. I'm not saying there'll be a movie tie-in by any means. But will they put out a Mario game?
No. Unless it's a remake or like a remaster.
No.
They're not going to put a new game
Odyssey?
out.
Mario Odyssey 2?
No, because they would have announced it already. Look at how long Zelda 2, Breath of the Wild 2, or Tears of a Clown, or whatever it's called.
That's not true.
Look at how long they were teasing the Tears game.
Wait. You said Tears of the Clown?
Yeah, I know. I'm kidding.
Right,
Tears of the Clown.
Breath of the Wild
and Tears of the Clown. Yeah, those are the two games. That's the duology.
Yeah. All right.
Look at how long we've known about that game.
It's episode 332. We're gonna coin this, all right? Because
Tears of a Clown.
Can't admit that he did Breath of the Wild, but it's Tears of the Clown.
Oh, I'll admit, I said that on purpose. I just thought it was funny. Yeah, I look at how long that we knew about that since like what 2018. We knew about that for like 4 years. It's not coming out till next year. They're not gonna drop a new Mario game like that.
I can prove you wrong.
They may do a remaster of an old game. They're going to bring this back.
I can prove you wrong. You know how I can prove you wrong? Easy. Mario Odyssey, we didn't know about it until the E3 Direct, and they said it's coming out this year. Right? We didn't know, because this is the first time Zelda and Mario came out in the same year. A mainline.
Well, yeah, I mean, that was because they wanted to, not... I mean, they've been working on it for a while, and I'm sure they're working on the next Mario game, guaranteed behind closed doors.
It's been 6 years.
But well, of course, they 100%. They were working on it in tandem with Zelda, but it was ready. It was ready to go. Yeah, I think
they've been 6 years.
Maybe they'll do that, but I don't think they need to. Mario is Mario. The hype is there. It's the most iconic character in the entire world. I think it surpassed Mickey Mouse in terms of notoriety, right? People just know who Mario is. He doesn't need the hype in that way. So if it's ready, it's ready. But I don't think they're ready to announce it just yet.
I think we're gonna get Mario Odyssey 2 next year.
We'll get an announcement maybe. Maybe.
No, I think just like the first year of the Switch, we got a Zelda and Mario game the same year. I think next year we're gonna get a Zelda and Mario game. I mean, they've been.
I'd be hype. What
they've been doing for 5 or 6 years. I think we're gonna.
They've been working on Metroid. They've been working on Metroid Prime 4. Get that out the door.
The main team, the Mario team, has not been working on Metroid.
No. Retro Studios has, but still, they're still providing some resources. They're working.
The mainline Mario team at Nintendo is working on Mario Odyssey 2, and it's going to come out next year.
That's your prediction. Feet to the fire, Mario Odyssey 2. Coming out, not even just announced. It needs to come out next year.
No, it's coming out next year. It's not going to be. It's not just announced.
Heavy disagree.
It's going to come out next year as well.
Heavy disagree. Okay. I hope you're right. I hope I'm wrong.
All right. Well, you know what? You know what I hope doesn't happen? Talk about things I hope this rumor is not true.
Oh, here we go.
It probably were true. Shifting gears to our next story, we have Horizon Zero Dawn remastered rumor.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And this comes from MP First reporting, citing sources that Horizon Zero Dawn remaster is in the works. Also, they report that Horizon multiplayer game is complete with co-op play is also in the works. We don't know if this will be one, all in one disc, which obviously if they're going to charge you $70 for a remaster,
you better put some new shit in there. Yeah.
Stuff into it, right? Because it's not like The Last of Us Part 1 or just The Last of Us when it came out, when they had a remaster for the PS4. It was because the PS3 wasn't backwards compatible,
right? And it was complete. It was all the DLC, the multiplayer, everything was in there. It was all compatible. It was all playable.
Yeah. Well, The Last of Us Part 1, again, I think this is a little bit different because The Last of Us Part 1, they changed, it was a remake. Soup to Nuts remake. They changed the graphics and they changed the gameplay, right? To sort of, coincide with The Last of Us Part 2. This is just a remastered, not a remake.
Well, yeah, but the issue, I think, one of the issues I have
recently.
one of the issues I have, and you share this issue, it's way too much money. $70 for a game from 2013, a 10-year-old game that they took features out of, right? I know they improved the combat and they redid the graphics and all that. That's great.
That work for me. It's the features I wouldn't use, like the
Well, no, but I mean, you're charging $70 for a game that you can get for $20 that has more stuff in it. All right, gameplay is different. Sure, I will go ahead and give you that.
I will say gameplay is king.
Mm-hmm.
Gameplay is king. The difference in this is I'm not gonna pay $70 for a game that is completely playable right now. They have PS5 upgrades for this game.
Well, they had PS5 upgrades for The Last of Us as well.
But The Last of Us Remastered, it was.
Well, they had PS4 Pro upgrades with 4K and a quality mode and a performance mode and all that. Same with Horizon. Horizon had PS4 Pro updates, right? They made an update because that came out. That game came out in 2017.
I think Horizon has PS5 updates as well.
It probably does. Yeah, it probably does. They keep doing all that, and then they're like, hey, wait a minute, we can make more money. And from a business standpoint, I get it.
Well, all these reports also have been corroborated by Video Game Chronicles. So that's where I think there's, where a lot of people are corroborating these rumors. I think there's where they smoke this fire, and this could come out. Now, if it comes out separate, where they're making a separate Horizon multiplayer game from this, I think that's terrible. But if you're gonna put it out and it's gonna be in one disc, and hey, we're not only giving you a multiplayer game to go in the Horizon universe, we're giving you the remastered, not remake, the difference, remastered version of this game. Then that gives a little bit of value to it, right?
I mean, it does. Now I just want to say I specifically wore my PlayStation 1 shirt to say that, because I'm going to say some negative stuff too, to say that I love PlayStation. It's great. I was just talking about Returnal, a little bit ago. Love my PS5. Love the PS4. Love the old school PS1, PS2. And I love what Sony did during the PS4 era. They were focused on single player games. They made Spider-Man, Last of Us Part 2, Ghost of Tsushima. They helped push forward. They funded Death Stranding, almost a completely single player game. They were great experiences. Horizon is not a game for me, but it was a very good game objectively, right? Did a lot of things right. It's a new franchise. Part 2 is out. Part 2 is beautiful, right? Part 2 is backwards compatible, which is cool. I'm glad that they did that. I think that's awesome. This whole thing doesn't need to happen. All right. I don't know. Well, here's what I think is going to happen. The Horizon multiplayer thing is going to be its own separate thing, and they're gonna milk money. They're gonna charge you $70 for a game that looks beautiful, even more beautiful than The Last of Us Remastered, because it came out in 2017. Came out February 2017, right before the Switch came out. Doesn't need this. Does not need this, and I'm sad that it's probably going to happen. It's probably going to cost $70, and I'm gonna say, based on past precedent, they're probably going to put the multiplayer in its own thing, charge you $20 for it or whatever it is. It's going to be its own thing, and maybe a $70 thing, maybe its own game. I don't even know, but
I think this is going to be a package deal.
Okay.
I think this is going to be a package deal because I think,
it certainly could.
The Last of Us Part 1, they really touted it was a remake from the ground up, and they redid all the graphics, redid all the gameplay.
Oh, yeah.
And that was the justification for spending $70.
Mm-hmm.
You can agree with it or not. That was going to be the justification. This is
right, of course.
This is just a remaster of this game, and I have to look it up. I don't know how much The Last of Us Remastered and PS4 cost. I don't think it was full price,
Well, now it's like $20 or less.
I know, but when it came out, I don't think it was full price. I did buy it when it came out, by the way, when it first came out. But I can't see them justifying $70 just for sort of a remastered version, unless they have the multiplayer version to go along with it to sort of sweeten the pot, right? So
it was $60.
It was $59.99.
Okay. Yes. Although there was a price drop down to $50. I'm looking at an old IGN article. So, and I think there was like a $10 refund that like came back because they dropped down the price. So originally,
got it.
I think it was supposed to be 60,
do a full
not
price,
50.
And then it got down to 50. So I think they would package this up to sweeten the deal so people could pay $69.99.
Yeah, I mean, I think they could totally do a multiplayer thing. Horizon's a big open world game, right? You could do the factions, right? You could be on the one side, or you could be on the other. Maybe there's even like a third rogue faction in there too, and you kind of go like head to head. That could be like kind of neat.
You know what? I'm okay. Again, this is rumors, so I don't want to speculate on. I don't want to like bash them on rumors. I bash them. I have no problem bashing Sony when it comes out and it's just bad. Right, so I'm not going to bash them on rumors, but I will say, if this was like, hey, we're making a multiplayer game, because remember, The Last of Us, the reason why they didn't put out, they took that feature away in The Last of Us Part 1 is because they're working on a brand new, soup to nuts, ground up multiplayer game that's going to be standalone in The Last of Us universe, right? Mm-hmm. That's why they said, no, we're going to take this feature out of The Last of Us Part 1, because we're going to give you a brand new experience in the universe. So if they're giving us a brand new experience, this is a Horizon multiplayer game, first and foremost. But on the disc, you got Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered, and that's sort of like second fiddle. Then I can see that. Then that's like an added bonus to a game that they were going to put out anyway. That's going to be a multiplayer focused game.
Sure.
So I can see that. So I'm not going to blast them on that. But I will blast them if they just have a remastered version of Horizon Zero Dawn that's $70, that's separate, distinct, and that's it. I can blast them on that, because that's useless and no need for that. If that's the case, Guerrilla Games can just make me another Killzone.
Seriously, it's been too long, baby.
Right.
It's been too long.
All right, so let's talk about games that aren't rumors, that are actual games that are in development, right? And the reason why, I'm just going to say this up front, the reason why I think they did this is to combat leaks. So there won't be no leaks. They're just going to tell you what they're working on. This is Marvel-esque, right, with the movies, telling you these are all the movies that are slated to come out. And that is CD Projekt Red. They have given us the roadmap of all the games that they want to make. Now, we discussed this kind of beforehand, and I got to say, I was wrong. I was originally right, and I was wrong. They are making 5 Witcher games.
That's crazy.
5, not 3. 5.
That's crazy.
So we got codename Polaris, which is AKA The Witcher 4, which we're going to call The Witcher 4. It's a new Witcher game that would mark the beginning of a new saga. All right, and it's been in development since March of this year. So it's early development.
Ooh, that's going to be a while before that game comes out.
It's going to be a long time.
Yeah. Right. Now, I wonder if it's going to be built on the Cyberpunk engine. Well, I'm not trying to meme on Cyberpunk by any means. I'm just wondering if they're going to use that technology and push it forward.
That's a good question.
Right? Right? Because that'll definitely hasten development a little bit. Because remember, the last Witcher game came out in 2015, and they were technically working on Cyberpunk before The Witcher 3 came out, or at least the idea of it, kind of, shopping it around. So, be curious to see.
And then they also have slated games that are only confirmed without code names, which is The Witcher 5 and The Witcher 6. So we don't know what they're going to be called. We don't even know if it's going to be called The Witcher 4. But they're working on a new trilogy for The Witcher. So those are 3 Witcher games in development, right, or early concept phase. So then we have 2 more Witcher games that they're working on. Codename Sirius, right? Series. So it's a game. The game will be a single player element, like a story or quest driven, but it will also blend in multiplayer components made by the Molasses Flood, which is a new a studio that they just purchased.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
It's a Vancouver studio, so it's a North American studio that they purchased. And then they have another Witcher game. Another.
Sorry, the Molasses Flood made the Flame and the Flood.
Yes,
It's a game that I nominated for Game of the Year in 2015. I think I love that game. It's great.
So they're making a single player game with the multiplayer components in it, right?
Okay, they're definitely going to do like an indie style take on the Witcher universe, but that'll be awesome. Yeah.
And then they have another Witcher game that's going to do a AAA story-driven Witcher RPG, but this has only been in it's only going to be published by CD Projekt Red. And it's being developed by an unknown developer, but they have confirmed that they will be using Unreal Engine 5.
Okay. Yeah. I heard that they were moving, towards Unreal Engine 5. Yeah, which is awesome because it's a very capable engine for sure. Okay, so this like knowing all this, it makes more sense. Obviously, you can't work on The Witcher 5 till you finish The Witcher 4. But you can share technology, right? So if the engine is up and running for Witcher 4, however it's going to be built, if that's on Unreal Engine 5 or whatever it is, obviously the next ones will be easier because you're building out tools on top of an already capable game engine, and you can kind of carry those forward to build the other games. And then you have other studios that are published under the CD Projekt Red umbrella, so they can kind of manage it. That makes sense. That's how you get 5 games out, right?
Well, that's 5 Witcher games, but they have 2 more games in development. They're going to have a Cyberpunk 2077 sequel codenamed Orion.
Sure.
The game isn't in development yet. It's in its. It first requires further growth of the team.
Well, sure.
This will be CD Projekt Red's North American team that's based North American studio, a new studio based in Boston.
Wow. So, all right.
The game's not going to be out for a while. And then lastly, CD Projekt Red has officially begun work on its own original IP, where they don't have to pay any licensing rights, right? Because the Witcher and Cyberpunk, they do have to pay just for those terms in the world, right?
Yeah. Wow. All right. Wow. I'm excited. This is big. This is a big news, big undertaking. It's going to be a while before any of these games come out, obviously, because we all know how long big open world games take. We all know how long Cyberpunk took to come out, and even the Witcher. But that's awesome. I'm looking forward to new content from CD Projekt Red.
All right. Well, we talked about rumors and leaks, right? And then we talked about just announced games for the future. But let's talk about a game that's coming out this year, and that is Need for Speed. We got a new Need for Speed coming out called Need for Speed Unbound. It was revealed, and you want to talk about games. You said you don't believe the Mario game's coming out next year because they haven't announced it yet. What about now? EA just announced the game coming out 2 months after the announcement.
I mean, sure.
It is possible.
I'm just going on past precedent. Nintendo likes to keep things out.
They do, even though the last Mario game was announced to come out the same year.
You're not wrong. So it's been the last game in the series was Need for Speed Heat in 2019.
Yeah, it's been 3 years since we got a Need for Speed.
Yeah, it's been a little while.
EA gave the franchise back to Criterion, right?
Yep.
And this game is coming out, like I said, this year, December 2nd, so another December game. And which kind of sucks because now that Criterion has the franchise back, and if this game is awesome, it's not gonna be nominated for Game of the Year at the Game Awards.
Well, I don't know. It could if it has a really engaging, story.
No,
maybe.
That's too late because the Game Awards is 6 days later.
Oh, yeah. It wouldn't have enough time for people to actually play it and review it and vote on it. I mean, I think from everything I read, this is going to be kind of a more like arcadey street kind of vibe to it, right? Less on the realistic side, which I'm kind of about. Yeah.
So I'm down for it. I thought Heat was okay. I didn't think it was great.
Right.
I got it on Xbox One, I believe.
Heat was the one where you were doing like the heists in the car and all that. Was that the one? Like it was like the Fast and the Furious style.
Fast and the Furious. And,
Okay.
You know, we know how all the Fast and Furious games turned out.
I know.
All right, and our last story this week is GameStop. They're up to their shenanigans or antics again. Apparently, some GameStop employees, or this one in particular GameStop employee, got orders from a manager to destroy copies of Overwatch 1. Now, she posted this on a TikTok video and showed, I think it was sort of like a written or email from management saying to destroy the PS4 and Xbox One copies. However, the Nintendo Switch version wasn't mentioned, in that memo. I thought to myself, I didn't even know there was a Nintendo Switch version of Overwatch. But
yeah, a couple of years ago. So the interesting thing about this, like, you may be like, why are they destroying copies of games and all that? And like, yes, that sucks, preservation and whatever else, this and that. But something to note is that you can't play Overwatch 1 anymore.
Wow.
Now,
okay.
To be fair, you can't play Overwatch 2 and that game just came out like a few days ago. Yeah, I'll get into that in a second too. But yeah, they shut down the Overwatch 1 servers when they launched Overwatch 2 because Overwatch 2 is free to play. So you can just download it, play it, and have a go. So they're like, well, we don't need Overwatch 1 anymore, right? Because no one's going to want to play that, even though people are happier with Overwatch 1 than they are with 2. Because they changed the gameplay mechanics slightly. It's now 5v5 versus 6v6 and some other things that people aren't a huge fan of. But when you try and log on to Overwatch 2, there's such long queue wait times, like 30,000 people deep, that you have to wait to get onto the servers. They're being like overloaded. So you can't even play part 2, and now you can't even play part 1. So
yeah, well, you know what? I did not know that. I did not know that. So under those circumstances,
that puts a wrinkle in this, right?
Then I can understand why they would say,
right?
Well, destroy is such like it's really harsh. It's like
I know,
just take it off the shelf.
Right? Exactly. Because you really can't, in good consciousness, sell somebody a game that doesn't work, right? Because it's all multiplayer. So you need the online servers to play. There's no way to do it locally. There's no single player. There may be a training mode, if I remember correctly, but that's not a game. That's just here's how to play.
Well, you know what this means, right?
What is that?
Copies of Overwatch 1 will be valuable since they're going to destroy all of them.
Well, this is one GameStop store, right?
You never know.
I don't think this is. Also, how do you not have a copy of Overwatch by now?
Because I think it was free. You can download it, right? It was or free to play. Wasn't it free to play?
No. No,
you had to buy a copy.
Yeah. Overwatch you had to pay for. Yeah.
I'm sure now that they can't play it, people are just going to throw it out anyway, right? They're just going to trash it themselves.
Maybe.
I have a hard. I know I have a hard. I bought it for like $5.
Okay. Yeah, I thought so.
So
yeah.
I have it on Xbox One. So.
Yeah. That's like wild. But I mean, I get it. From a practical standpoint, how are you going to sell somebody? You can't have it on the shelf. It takes up space. You can't sell it to anybody. Like,
this is what you do. Sell it for 50 cents.
I mean, if you were like a retro game shop, yeah, you would go ahead and put it into like the free bin or something, right? You would just do that. But GameStop isn't a retro game.
You buy anything in the store, you get a free copy of Overwatch as you can.
Yeah, right. Here you go. Would you like a paperweight? Here you go.
There you go. Something for your shelf.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All right, Dave. That's it for the news.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's October, so you know what that means. I got to keep guessing because I don't know what your costume is going to be. So,
nope.
My guess this week.
Well, hold on. I got to give you a clue, right? I think that was
okay. What's the all right? Well, okay. What's the clue? Give me a clue.
Okay. It was featured. My costume was featured in a cartoon. I believe I told you last week that this character was featured in other media, other than video games.
Wasn't it? Okay. Well, let me ask you this question. Because I got one question every week.
I don't think I can answer it, but go ahead. Cause...
No. It's a yes or no question. So yes or no. You get yes or no questions and a hint. So, do you have a weapon of some type?
I can't answer that question, Dan.
Yes, you can. It's a yes or no. You're not telling me the weapon.
Nah, I can't answer
everybody has weapons.
I would be giving you a second hint. You get one hint a
No.
week. This guy's trying to cheat, folks.
No, I got one question and a hint. A question and a hint. So the question is, do you
Well,
have
the answer is another hint.
Oh.
You could ask me 1,000 questions.
Okay,
Those are
no,
hints
no,
on
no,
what
no,
those are hints on what the costume is.
No, that is not the rules. I'm not playing this game. The rules are I got one question and a hint. I was supposed to ask a question
So
first. So no, yes or no. It's yes or no.
Does the answer to that? Does the answer
I
to
asked
that?
if this was Splatoon. I said, was this a Splatoon character? You said no.
That's right.
So okay, well.
Well, you have to guess.
a
No.
weapon?
You have to guess because you're gonna guess after that, aren't you?
Well, yeah.
You got to make a guess.
So the rules are I ask a question, yes or no. It's a yes or no answer. Then I
No.
guess. Then you give me a hint.
No, those aren't the rules. Those aren't the rules.
Those are the rules. I asked, was this a Splatoon character? And I forgot what my second question was.
Well, no, you didn't. You were guessing. Was
I
it a
gave a question.
Splatoon character? That was your That was your guess.
question,
Are you a
like,
Splatoon
no.
character?
No, that was a question. What are you?
You didn't make a guess
No.
first week, then. See this guy.
Yes, you
This
did.
guy over
Yes,
here.
you did.
You didn't
Yeah,
make a
it's like-
guess. You didn't make a guess.
It's like 20 questions. I ask a question. You got to give me
No,
something.
this guy over here, he's trying to get more hints.
I don't want to play this game anymore.
Because the answer is a hint. The answer is a hint.
Everybody has a weapon, even Mario.
Then why even ask the question? Well, he doesn't have a weapon specifically.
Well, there you go.
You
Well,
wouldn't
there you
you
go.
wouldn't look at him and
Mario.
say, "Hey, he has a
Mario.
weapon." This guy. All right,
be
listen.
Mario.
I just want to go on record that you're trying to get more,
No,
trying to get
the
more
game-
info. You're trying to get
No,
more info
I'm not
out of me, and it's
I'm not playing
fine.
this game.
That's fine. I
I'm not
will
playing this
answer.
game. The game is a question.
No, it's not. But I will answer your question. I will
I
answer
can't.
your
I'm
question.
not gonna blindly guess. I gotta answer.
I gave you a hint. I gave you another hint. You have 3 hints so far.
No, look. The I have no hints. I don't know anything about this game. Or
I
about
just
this-
told you it's a cartoon.
Do
It's a
you
video
have-
game character, and it's featured in other media.
Do you have a weapon? Do you have a weapon? In
I
this
will give you another hint and say yes.
game? No, I don't. It's not a hint. It's
It is a hint because the answer is yes. So there you
Now-
go. Do
now
with
I
that
can
what you
guess.
will. Do with that what
Now
you
I
will.
can guess. Now I can guess.
Okay, go ahead. Do with that what you will. With your 2 hints this week.
Now
Yes,
can
I
guess.
have a weapon, and there was
Okay.
a car. I was featured in a
Gonna get-
cartoon.
It was featured in a cartoon. I mean,
There you go.
I don't know. I mean, are you Cloud? You can be Cloud?
Wow. Well, he was featured in.
Yes or no?
He was
Is it
featured in a.
either-
No. I'm just. He was featured in a few animes, which I guess you could consider a cartoon. The answer is no.
Oh, okay.
But that is a very good guess. Cloud is an awesome character. I've thought about doing Cloud.
Well, let's get these rules down. I got one question every week.
No.
I got a question. I got to ask
No.
a question.
No, you don't. Then I'm not going to give you a hint.
Then you got to give me a hint if I get it wrong.
No, I will not. You can ask a question. I will let you ask. I will let you form your own questions on this.
It's like
But that's
20
it.
questions. It's like 20 questions at IGN. You ask questions. Well, GameScoop. You ask questions to lead you to this, and he does give you one hint every game. Every game, he gives you a hint, and then you get
Wait. You get one hint every question.
one hint every game.
You've gotten like 3 hints already.
No,
So
well,
your
then-
hints are done, son. You're done.
It's 20 questions. It's 20 questions.
All right, I will let you ask your own question, but then you don't
I
get
will
a hint.
ask a question.
Then you don't get a hint.
No.
You get one or the other. You get one or the other.
I guess if I'm wrong, I want a hint.
No,
So I can
no
think about
hint,
it.
no hint.
Yes.
You can ask whatever questions you want though, which is
This guy
better
doesn't
for
know how
you.
game shows work. This guy doesn't know how game shows work.
I
Not to
do.
men-
You said one hint per game. I've already given you 3 hints, and
No,
you've
no,
asked multiple questions.
I asked a question.
Get outta
I can
here.
ask a question. No, I can ask a question. Yeah.
Well, that's not how the Game Scoop one works. You're
it is. They ask
No.
20 questions. They ask 20 questions.
You can
and
ask a question a week, sure.
he
Next
gives
week
a
you can
hint.
ask a question.
And he gives a hint when they get to the guess.
All right, folks. Look. This is not supposed to be difficult, but I just want to say the rules are what the rules are.
The rules
And Dan's
are
making up
I
his own rules
one
now.
Question,
So.
I can ask one question, and then I guess, and then if I'm wrong, you give me a hint.
That's not how the Game Scoop one works, but okay.
You're right.
If
He
that's-
gives a hint
if
before-
that's how you
he gives
wanna
a hint
play.
before they take a guess. He gives a hint before the guess.
If that's how you want to play, all right, I'll make it even easier on you because I don't know. You may not get it.
Well, look, it's not a game that we're gonna play. If this was like a normal game, this is a game that's going to last another 2 episodes, so we don't have
three. We got 3 more weeks until Halloween at least.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's my point. This is not a game.
You could easily get it. It's not that hard. But anyway. Well, all right, folks. I didn't want to make that a big thing, but Dan's on his way to getting my costume. And you will see it, even if Dan doesn't get it. I will wear my costume on stream the episode before Halloween. So there you go. It's going to be a good time.
Well, if he doesn't want to answer questions, I'll never guess it.
Well, all right. That's episode 332 in the books, folks. And we want to thank you guys for listening to the show, for liking, commenting, and doing all the good stuff that you guys do. If you want to interact with us, and we know that you do, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Rated G for Gamers. Also, we are part of the Gaming Podcast Alliance. You can check out all the fine podcasts featured on there at gamingpodcastalliance.com if you're looking for more gaming goodness. So, please listen, like, rate, review, and subscribe. And as always,
keep gaming.